The smell hits Corporal David Smythe first. He is driving a scout car, half-track, engine coughing dust, when the air changes. It happens between one breath and the next. He opens his mouth to say something to the driver, and the smell fills him. It is not a smell he has words for. Rotting meat, yes. But this is sweeter, thicker. It sits on his tongue like something solid. His stomach lurches. He swallows bile. The driver, a kid named Evans from Manchester, slams the brakes and leans out of the vehicle and vomits onto the road. Smythe does not blame him. He wants to do the same. But he is a corporal. He is 24 years old. He has been a photographer since he was 16, back in London, shooting weddings and babies and dogs. He has seen people at their best. Now he is about to see them at their worst. The convoy stops. Officers consult maps. Someone says the word Belsen. Someone else says it is a camp. No one knows what that means. Not yet. Smythe grabs his camera. It is a standard issue military model, heavy, reliable. He has used it to film burning tanks and dead Germans and smiling French children throwing flowers. He has never used it for this. He does not know that yet. He climbs down from the vehicle and walks forward with the others, rifles up, eyes scanning, expecting machine guns, expecting ambush. There is no ambush. There is only the gate. It is wooden, ordinary. A farmer might have this gate on his land. Smythe notices this. The ordinary wood, the ordinary hinges, behind it, the ordinary trees. And then he looks past the gate and sees what is inside. The first thing he sees is a man. The man is sitting on the ground, with his back against a wooden hut. He is wearing striped clothing. The clothing hangs on him like it is on a hanger. There is no body inside it. Just bones. Just skin. The man looks at Smythe. Smythe looks at the man. Neither moves. Then the man opens his mouth. No sound comes out. He tries again. A whisper. Smythe cannot understand the language. He steps forward. The man reaches out a hand. The hand is fingers wrapped in paper. Smythe takes it. It is cold. It is light. It is like holding a bird. The man looks at him. The man's eyes are wet. The man dies. Smythe feels the exact moment the life leaves the hand. The fingers go slack. The weight changes. He has never felt anyone die before. He stands there holding a dead man's hand for 30 seconds. Then he lets go. The hand falls to the ground. Smythe looks at his own hand. It is shaking. He looks up. Now he sees the rest. Bodies everywhere, not in piles. Just on the ground. Scattered like garbage after a festival. Except this festival was death. Hundreds of bodies. Thousands. He cannot count. They are between the huts. They are outside the huts. They are inside the huts, he will learn later, stacked like wood. Men, women, children. The children are the worst. Small bodies. Small striped uniforms. Small faces with big eyes that will never close because the eyes are already gone, eaten by birds, by rats, by whatever comes in the night. Smythe raises his camera. This is his job. This is what he came for. He puts his eye to the viewfinder. The world becomes a frame. He can control it now. He can choose what to see. He pans left. Bodies. He pans right. Bodies. He pans up to the sky. Because he cannot look anymore. The sky is blue. Perfect. Innocent. He lowers the camera. A woman walks toward him. She is naked. Her skin is gray. Her breasts are empty sacks. Her ribs are a xylophone. She walks like she is learning how. One step. Pause. Another step. She is maybe 30 years old. She looks 80. She stops in front of him. She looks at the camera. She points at it. She points at herself. She wants him to film her. She wants to be seen. She opens her mouth, and he sees she has no teeth. She tries to smile anyway. It is the most terrible thing he has ever seen. He films her. He films her walking away. He films her collapsing. He films until she stops moving. Then he films the flies landing on her eyes. Someone is shouting orders. The SS have fled. The prisoners are free, but they do not know it. They stay in the huts. They stay on the ground. They wait to die because waiting to die is all they know. British medics are running now, carrying water, carrying blankets. There are not enough blankets. There will never be enough blankets. A medic kneels beside a girl. The girl is maybe 12. She has typhus. Her skin is yellow, her eyes are red. She asks for her mother. The medic does not speak German. He gives her water. She drinks. She asks again. He gives her chocolate from his ration. She does not understand chocolate. She has never seen it. She thinks it is poison. She spits it out. She cries. The medic cries. Smythe films all of it. Hours pass. The day does not end. The light changes, but the bodies do not. Smythe's arms ache from holding the camera. His back aches. His eyes ache. He keeps filming. He films a bulldozer pushing bodies into a pit. He films SS guards now captured, forced to load bodies onto carts. He films their faces. Some look away. Some look at the camera. One young SS man, maybe 19, smirks. Smythe zooms in on the smirk. He holds it. He wants history to see that smirk. He wants the judges to see it. Night comes. Smythe stops filming because there is no light. He sits on the ground near his vehicle. He does not eat. He does not drink. He stares at nothing. Evans, the driver, sits beside him. They do not speak. There are no words. In the distance, someone is screaming. It goes on for a long time. Then it stops. Smythe wonders if the screamer died or if the screamer just ran out of voice. He does not know which is worse. The next morning he starts again. More bodies. More faces. More dying. He films a man who is eating grass. He films a woman who is holding a baby. The baby is dead. Has been dead for days. The woman does not know. Or does know and does not care. She rocks the baby. She hums. Smythe films until his film runs out. He reloads. He keeps filming. In a farmhouse nearby, the military sets up a darkroom. Smythe brings his reels. A technician takes them. The technician is a young Jewish man from London. His name is Benjamin Stone. His family came from Poland. He does not know if they are alive. He has not heard from them since 1941. He takes Smythe's film into the red light. He develops it. He watches the images appear. He sees the bodies. He sees the faces. He sees the children. He does not cry. He cannot cry. He is beyond crying. He prints the photographs. He labels them. He files them. He does this for hours, for days, for weeks. He will do this until there is no more film. Smythe keeps filming. He films the survivors being moved to a nearby German army camp that has been converted to a hospital. He films the SS women being marched in, their heads high, their uniforms crisp. One of them is young, blonde, pretty. She looks at his camera and turns away as if she is offended by his presence. Her name is Irma Grese. He does not know her name yet. He will learn it. Everyone will learn it. He films the piles of shoes. Thousands of shoes. Men's shoes. Women's shoes. Children's shoes. Tiny shoes. He films the piles of glasses. The piles of combs. The piles of wedding rings. He films a British officer holding up a lampshade made of human skin. The officer's hand shakes. The lampshade shakes. Smythe films it anyway. By the end of April, the filming is done. Not because there is nothing left to film. Because the camp is empty now. The living are gone. The dead are buried. The SS are in cages waiting for trial. Smythe packs his camera. He has used more film in 2 weeks than in his entire previous military service. He does not know what will happen to it. He does not know that it will be shown in a courtroom. He does not know that his images will hang men and women. He only knows that he will never be the same. On the last day, he walks through the empty camp. The huts are silent. The ground is bare. He finds a child's shoe. Small, brown, worn. He picks it up. He puts it in his pocket. He does not know why. He will keep it for 60 years. He will show it to his grandchildren. He will not tell them where it came from. They will not ask. They will see it in his eyes. The cameras are packed. The reels are labeled. The evidence is ready. In London, prosecutors are preparing their case. They do not know yet that the most powerful witness will not be a person. It will be a strip of celluloid. It will be the images captured by a young corporal from London who wanted to be a wedding photographer and became instead the eye of history. The gates close behind him. The smell fades, but it never really fades. It stays in his nose, in his throat, in his dreams. He will smell it on his wedding day. He will smell it when his children are born. He will smell it when he is an old man dying in a hospital bed. The smell of Bergen-Belsen, the smell of what humans did to humans, the smell that cameras captured so that no one could ever say they did not know. They will know. They will see. And then they will judge. The British soldiers are still counting the dead when they find Josef Mengele. No, not Mengele. Josef Kramer. The names are easy to confuse. Both doctors. Both Germans. Both monsters. But Kramer is their monster. He is the commandant of Bergen-Belsen, and he is waiting for them. He stands outside his quarters when the British arrive, not hiding, not running, standing, hands at his sides, face calm. He is wearing a clean uniform. His boots are polished. He looks like a man waiting for a photograph. In a way, he is. The cameras are coming. He knows this. He has prepared. Corporal Smythe is there. His camera is running. He films Kramer from 20 meters away. Kramer looks directly into the lens. No flinch. No shame. Just a man looking at another man. Smythe feels something cold move through his chest. This is the man in charge. This is the man who decided who lived and who died. And he stands there like he is waiting for a bus. Kramer speaks English. He learned it during previous service. He steps forward and introduces himself to the first officer he sees. He says his name, his rank, his position. He says it like he is reporting for duty. The British officer stares at him. The officer's name is Captain Derek Sington. He is a Jew. Kramer does not know this, or does not care. Sington looks at Kramer's polished boots. Then he looks past Kramer at the bodies. Then he looks back at Kramer. He does not speak. He cannot speak. There are no words for this moment. Kramer fills the silence. He explains that he is a doctor. He explains that he has always been a doctor. He explains that he joined the SS because it was a job, because Germany was changing, because a man must work. He explains that he did not create the conditions in the camp. He inherited them. The previous commandant, he says, was irresponsible. Kramer himself ran Auschwitz before coming here. He does not mention this. He does not mention that at Auschwitz he personally selected hundreds of thousands for the gas chambers. He does not mention that he supervised the killings with the same calm expression he wears now. He mentions none of this. Sington finds his voice. He asks Kramer how many people died here, Kramer thinks. He does not know the exact number. Thousands, he says, tens of thousands. He is not sure. He did not keep count. Keeping count was not his job. His job was to run the camp, to follow orders, to maintain order. The dying was not his responsibility. The dying was a result of the war, of the food shortages, of the typhus, of circumstances beyond anyone's control. Smythe keeps filming. He zooms in on Kramer's face. The eyes are blue, calm, intelligent. This is not a madman. This is not a screaming Nazi fanatic. This is a man who could be your neighbor, your doctor, your father. That is the horror. That is what the camera captures. The ordinary face of evil. Kramer is taken away. He will be held with the others. He does not resist. He walks calmly to the truck. He sits calmly in the back. He looks at the bodies as the truck drives past. His expression does not change. He has seen bodies before. Thousands of bodies. Tens of thousands. They are nothing to him now. Just scenery. While Kramer is being processed, another capture is happening elsewhere in the camp. The SS women are being rounded up. There are dozens of them. They worked in the camp. They supervised the prisoners. They walked among the dying with dogs and whips. They are young, most of them, in their 20s. They wear gray uniforms. Some try to blend in with the prisoners. They have torn off their insignia. They have dirtied their faces. It does not work. The prisoners point them out. The prisoners want them caught. One of them is Irma Grese. She is 21 years old. She is blonde. She is pretty. Men have told her this her whole life. She knows how to use it. When the soldiers find her, she is in a group of women trying to hide. She steps forward. She looks at the soldiers. She smiles. It is a small smile, apologetic, confused. She is just a girl, the smile says. She is just a girl who got caught up in something bigger than herself. The soldiers do not smile back. They have seen the camp. They have seen the children. They have seen what the women did to the children. One soldier grabs her arm. Hard. She flinches. The smile disappears. For a moment, something else appears in her eyes. Fear, anger. It is hard to tell. Then it is gone. She is calm again. She walks with the soldiers. She does not resist. Later, they will learn her story. They will interview survivors who knew her. They will hear things that will make them sick. They will hear that she carried a whip made of cellophane, that she used it on women's faces, that she set her dog on prisoners for fun, that she selected who lived and who died with a smile and a wave of her hand, that she was beautiful and cruel and young and hated. But now, in this moment, she is just another prisoner, just another face in the crowd, just another woman in a gray uniform walking toward a cage. The cages are set up in the camp itself. The British want the SS to see what they created. They want the SS to smell what they created. They want the SS to live among the ghosts they made. So the former guards are housed in huts near the mass graves. They are given food, good food, British rations. The prisoners watch this. They watch their former tormentors eating while they themselves starve. The British explain that the SS must be kept alive for trial. The prisoners understand. But they do not like it. Kramer is in a cage. He sits on a bunk. He reads a book. He has always been a reader. Philosophy, history, medicine. He reads while outside his window, the bodies are still being buried. He reads while survivors walk past and spit at his window. He reads while the cameras film him through the wire. He looks up sometimes. He meets the camera's eye. Then he looks back at his book. He is a doctor. He is an intellectual. He is a man of culture. He should not be in a cage. That is what his eyes say. That is what his calm face says. Irma Grese is in a different cage. She shares with other SS women. They talk. They whisper. They plan what they will say at trial. They agree on a story. They were just following orders. They did not know what was happening. They were as surprised as anyone by the conditions. They were kind to prisoners. They helped when they could. The story is weak, but it is all they have. Irma does not talk much. She sits on her bunk and stares at the wall. She thinks about her life. She was born in 1923. Her mother killed herself when Irma was a child. Her father was strict. He did not like the Nazis. Irma liked them anyway. She joined the SS as a guard when she was 19. She wanted adventure. She wanted power. She wanted to matter. Now she is 21 and sitting in a cage with bodies rotting 50 meters away. This is not what she wanted. But she will not show it. She will not cry. She will not break. She will stare at the wall until the wall stares back. The British interview her. They bring a translator. They ask questions. How long were you at Belsen? What did you do? Did you see the dying? Did you help anyone? She answers calmly. She worked in the camp. She supervised prisoners. She saw dying, yes, but she was not responsible. She had no medical training. She could not help. She was just doing her job. The British officer interviewing her is a major. He has been in the army for 20 years. He has interrogated prisoners before. But he has never interviewed a pretty blonde girl who sent people to die with a smile. He does not know what to do with her. He writes down her answers. He files the report. He goes back to his tent and drinks whiskey until he falls asleep. Days pass. Weeks. The camp is cleaned. The survivors are moved. The bodies are buried. The SS wait. They wait for trial. They wait for judgment. They wait to see if the world will believe them or believe the evidence. Kramer waits by reading. He finishes one book. He starts another. He does not look out the window anymore. There is nothing out there he wants to see. Irma waits by exercising. She walks in circles in her cage. She does stretches. She keeps her body beautiful. She does not know why. She just does it. Habit. Training. Something to do. The other SS women watch her. Some admire her discipline, some think she's crazy. No one says anything. Outside the cages, the evidence is being prepared. The photographs, the films, the survivor testimonies. The British are building a case. They are building it brick by brick. They do not know yet that the strongest brick will be the film. They do not know yet that when they show Kramer and Irma what the cameras captured, the walls of their lies will crumble. But that is for later. Now in the summer of 1945, the accused wait. They wait in their cages. They wait with their memories. They wait with their justifications and their denials and their carefully constructed stories. They do not know that the cameras are still watching, that the footage is being edited, that the noose is being measured. Kramer turns a page. Irma stretches her legs. Outside, a bulldozer passes, carrying another load of earth to another mass grave. The war is over. The killing is done. But the story is just beginning. The films arrive in London in wooden crates. They are heavy. They are labeled simply Belsen, April 1945. No other information is needed. The men who handle the crates know what is inside. They have heard the reports. They have seen the newspapers. But they have not seen the films. Not yet. That is about to change. The crates are delivered to a screening room in central London. It is a small room, gray walls, no windows, rows of wooden chairs facing a white screen. This room has seen many films, training films, propaganda films, films about how to clean a rifle and how to spot a spy. It has never seen anything like this. The men who gather to watch are not soldiers. They are lawyers, prosecutors, civil servants from the War Office, a few military officers who have been assigned to the legal team. They sit in the wooden chairs. They smoke cigarettes. They shuffle papers. They do not know what is coming. The projector starts. The first images appear. Grainy, black and white, a gate, trees, and then the bodies. The room goes silent. Cigarettes burn untouched. Papers slide to the floor. No one picks them up. No one moves. The images keep coming. Bodies on the ground, bodies in piles, bodies being pushed by bulldozers, faces, eyes, children. The camera does not look away. Neither can they. One prosecutor, a man named Stephen Stewart, is 34 years old. He has been a lawyer for 10 years. He has seen murder files, autopsy photos, crime scene images. He thought he was prepared. He is not prepared. He watches a woman crawl toward the camera. Her legs do not work. She pulls herself with her arms. Her face is bones. Her eyes are asking something. He does not know what. Help? Water? Death? He will never know. The film cuts to something else. He is glad. He is ashamed of being glad. The film runs for 47 minutes. 47 minutes of hell. When it ends, the screen goes white. The projector hums. No one speaks. No one moves. Then someone stands. It is the senior prosecutor. His name is Colonel Backhouse. He has been in the army since he was 18. He has seen friends die. He has killed men himself. He looks at the men in the room, and his voice is steady when he speaks. "This is our evidence," he says. "This is what we will show the court. This is what we will show the world." The men nod. They do not trust themselves to speak. They file out of the room. They go back to their offices. They try to work. They cannot work. They see the images every time they close their eyes. They will see them for the rest of their lives. The films are not the only evidence. There are photographs, thousands of them. They are spread across tables in a large office near the courthouse. Lawyers and clerks sort through them. They categorize them. Bodies, survivors, guards, conditions. Each photograph is numbered. Each photograph is described. Each photograph will become an exhibit. A young clerk named Margaret Turner is assigned to the photograph team. She is 19. She joined the civil service because she wanted to help the war effort. She thought she would file papers, type letters, make tea. Instead, she sits at a table covered in images of death. She sorts them into piles. She writes descriptions. Female corpse, approximate age 30, found near hut 4. Child's shoe, belonging to deceased child, location unknown. She works 8 hours a day. She eats lunch at her desk because she cannot leave the photographs. She dreams about them at night. She does not tell her family what she does. They would not understand. She is not sure she understands. In another office, the film editors work. They have hours of footage. They must cut it into something usable for the trial. They must choose the worst images, the clearest images, the most damning images. They work in silence. They speak only when necessary. Pass me that reel. Stop there. Mark that frame. They do not joke. They do not laugh. There is no laughter in this room. The chief editor is a man named Alfred Zeitlin. He is German, Jewish. He fled Berlin in 1938. His parents did not flee. He does not know what happened to them. He has not heard from them since 1941. He works on the Belsen footage because he volunteered. He wanted to see. He wanted to know. Now he knows. He wishes he did not. He watches a reel of SS guards being forced to load bodies onto carts. He watches them work. He watches their faces. Some look angry. Some look bored. One young guard, maybe 20, is smiling while he handles dead children. Zeitlin freezes the frame. He zooms in on the smile. He prints the frame. He pins it to the wall. He will look at that smile every day until the trial. He will use it as fuel. The prosecutors meet daily. They build their case. They interview survivors. They take statements. They gather documents. But the films are always there, in the back of the room, in the back of their minds. They know the films are their strongest weapon. They know the films will do what words cannot. The films will show, and showing is believing. Stephen Stewart volunteers to present the film evidence in court. He wants to be the one to introduce it. He wants to watch the faces of the accused when they see what the cameras saw. He wants to watch them squirm. He wants to watch them break. He is a professional. He is a lawyer. But he is also a man. And the man in him wants justice. He practices his opening statement. He stands in an empty courtroom and speaks to empty chairs. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, the film you are about to see was taken by British military photographers immediately after the liberation of Bergen-Belsen. It is an accurate record of conditions inside the camp. It has not been altered. It has not been staged. It is the truth. He stops. The words feel small, inadequate. How can any words prepare anyone for what they are about to see? They cannot. He knows this. He accepts it. He will let the film speak for itself. Weeks pass. The trial date approaches. The accused are brought to Lüneburg, a small town near the camp. They are housed in a prison nearby. They are given food, shelter, medical care, more than they gave their victims. Much more. They do not comment on this irony. If they notice it, they do not show it. Josef Kramer reads in his cell. He has a new book now, something by Goethe. He reads slowly, carefully. He underlines passages. He makes notes in the margins. He is a man of culture. He wants everyone to know it. When the guards bring his food, he thanks them, politely, correctly. He is a model prisoner. He wants everyone to know that too. Irma Grese exercises in her cell. She does push-ups, sit-ups, stretches. She keeps her body hard. She does not know why she bothers, but she does, every day, without fail. She also writes letters, to her father, to her sister. She tells them she is innocent. She tells them she did nothing wrong. She tells them the British will see the truth and release her. She believes this, or pretends to. It is hard to tell. In London, the final edits are made. The trial film is ready. 47 minutes of hell, cut to 30 minutes of the worst. The worst bodies, the worst faces, the worst moments. It is ready to be shown. Margaret Turner finishes her last photograph. She numbers it. She files it. She looks at the piles of images on her desk. Thousands of deaths. Thousands of stories. All reduced to numbers and descriptions. She wonders if anyone will remember the people behind the numbers. She hopes the film will help. She hopes the moving images will make them real. Real enough to matter. real enough to hang the men and women who did this. Alfred Zeitlin watches his final cut one more time. He watches the bodies, the faces, the children. He watches the SS guards smiling. He watches the bulldozers working. He watches it all and feels nothing now. The numbness has set in. He is grateful for it. He could not survive without it. Stephen Stewart reads his opening statement one last time. He changes a word here, a phrase there. He tries to make it perfect. He knows it will never be perfect. Nothing can be perfect for this. He closes the file. He looks at the clock. The trial starts tomorrow. The crates are loaded onto trucks. The films, the photographs, the documents. They are driven to Lüneburg. They are carried into the courthouse. They are placed in a locked room near the courtroom. Guards stand outside. No one enters without permission. The evidence is ready. The accused sleep in their cells. Kramer dreams of books. Irma dreams of nothing. She never remembers her dreams. She is glad. In London, Margaret Turner goes home. She eats dinner with her parents. They ask about her day. She says it was fine. She says work is busy. She does not mention the photographs. She never mentions the photographs. She goes to her room. She lies in bed. She stares at the ceiling. She sees faces. She always sees faces. She closes her eyes. The faces are still there. Tomorrow the trial begins. Tomorrow the world will see. Tomorrow the celluloid witness will take the stand. The town of Lüneburg does not look like a place where history will be made. It is small, quiet. Medieval buildings line cobblestone streets. A river runs through the center. Old women hang laundry from windows. Children play in squares. It could be any German town in any German year. But it is September 1945, and the war is over, and the town has been chosen for a purpose. The courthouse is a large stone building on a street called Am Ochsenmarkt. It has stood for centuries. It has seen trials for theft, for murder, for the ordinary crimes of ordinary people. It has never seen anything like this. 45 accused, thousands of victims, crimes that have no name. The British chose Lüneburg for a reason. It is near Bergen-Belsen. The evidence is close. The witnesses are close. The smell is close. But there is another reason. The British want the Germans to see. They want the people of Lüneburg to walk past the courthouse and know what was done in their name. They want them to hear the testimony, to see the photographs, to never be able to say they did not know. The courthouse is prepared. The main courtroom is on the second floor. It is large, high ceilings, tall windows, wooden benches for spectators, a raised platform for the judges, a separate area for the accused. The British have added something new, a screen, white, large, positioned so everyone can see. The screen is for the films. The screen is for the truth. September 17th, 1945. The first day of trial. The streets outside are crowded. Journalists from around the world have come, Americans, French, Russians, British. They stand with notebooks and cameras. They smoke cigarettes and talk in low voices. They do not know what to expect. They have heard the reports. They have seen the first photographs in newspapers. But they have not seen the films. Not yet. Inside the courtroom, the benches fill. Lawyers in robes, military officers in uniform, journalists with pens, a few German civilians, curious or guilty, or both. The atmosphere is tense, quiet. No one laughs. No one jokes. This is not that kind of place. The judges enter. 3 British officers. Colonel G.T. Backhouse is the president of the court. He is a professional soldier, experienced, steady. He sits in the center and looks at the room with calm eyes. Beside him are two other officers. They will decide guilt or innocence. They will decide life or death. The accused are brought in, 45 of them, men and women. They file into the wooden dock. It is built like a cage, open on all sides but enclosed by low walls. They sit on benches. Some look at the floor. Some look at the judges. Some look at the journalists. One young woman looks at the screen. She does not know what it is for. She will learn. Josef Kramer sits in the front row. He wears a dark suit. His hair is combed. His face is calm. He looks like a businessman at a meeting. Beside him is Irma Grese. She wears a gray dress. Her blonde hair is neat. She looks at the judges with wide eyes, innocent eyes, confused eyes. She has practiced this look. It fits her face perfectly. The charges are read. War crimes. Crimes against humanity. Murder. Ill-treatment. Participation in the operation of a concentration camp. The words fill the room. The accused listen. Some shift on their benches. Most do not move. They have prepared for this. They have stories ready. Kramer listens to his name. He listens to the charges. His face does not change. He has been a commandant. He has supervised selections. He has sent thousands to die. He knows this. The court knows this. But knowing and proving are different things. He will make them prove it. He will make them work. Irma listens to her charges. She hears the words brutal treatment. She hears the words selection of prisoners for death. She hears the words responsibility. Her eyes fill with tears. Not real tears. Practiced tears. She dabs at her eyes with a handkerchief. A small white handkerchief. She wants the judges to see. She wants them to doubt. She is 21 years old. She is beautiful. She is crying. How can she be guilty? The prosecutor stands. It is Stephen Stewart. He is 34. He looks younger. He looks at the accused. He looks at the judges. He looks at the screen. He begins to speak. He speaks for an hour. He describes the camp, the conditions, the deaths, the systematic cruelty. He describes the structure of command, the responsibilities of each accused. He lays out the case methodically, carefully, like building a wall brick by brick. But the heart of his speech is about the evidence, the photographs, the films, the survivor testimony. He tells the court what they will see. He prepares them. He warns them. He knows no warning is enough. When he finishes, there is silence. Then the first witness is called. A survivor. A man. He walks to the stand slowly. He is thin. His clothes hang on him. His eyes are deep in their sockets. He sits and looks at the accused. He looks at Kramer. Kramer looks away. He looks at Irma. Irma looks at her hands. The man testifies. He describes arriving at Belsen, the separation of families, the starvation, the beatings. He describes seeing his wife taken to the gas chamber. There were no gas chambers at Belsen. The prosecutor corrects him gently. The man nods. He meant the selections. The selections for transport to Auschwitz, to the gas chambers there. He saw his wife selected. He never saw her again. He describes Irma Grese. He saw her with a whip. He saw her use it on a pregnant woman. The woman fell. Irma kicked her. The woman did not get up. He does not know if she died. He assumes she died. Everyone died. Irma listens. She shakes her head slightly. Small movements, denial, disbelief. She did not do that. She never did that. The witnesses are lying. They are all lying. She tells this to the woman beside her. The woman nods. They have agreed on this. The witnesses are liars. The British are liars. Everyone is lying except them. The testimony continues for days. Survivor after survivor, each with a story, each with a face, each with a name of someone who did not survive. They point at Kramer. They point at Irma. They point at the others. They name names. They describe acts. The courtroom fills with horror. The journalists write furiously. The judges take notes. The accused sit and listen. Kramer listens to every word. He takes notes too. Small notebook. Small pencil. He writes down discrepancies. He writes down questions for his lawyer. He is defending himself. He has a lawyer, but he is defending himself. He trusts no one. He trusts only his mind. Irma does not take notes. She sits and stares. Sometimes she cries. Sometimes she looks at the judges with pleading eyes. Sometimes she looks at the journalists. She knows they are writing about her. She knows they call her the beautiful beast. She does not know if this helps her or hurts her. She does not know anything anymore. The days pass. The witnesses come and go. The evidence piles up. Documents, photographs, testimony. But the prosecutors are waiting for the right moment, waiting for the accused to be ready, waiting for the impact to be maximum. They are waiting to show the films. In a room behind the courtroom, the projector sits ready. The reels are loaded. The screen is tested. The lights are dimmed. Everything is prepared. The prosecutors watch the film one more time. They watch the bodies, the faces, the children. They watch and they do not look away. They have seen it before. They will see it again. They will see it until they die. Stephen Stewart thinks about Kramer, about Irma, about what they will feel when they see themselves, when they see what they created. He hopes they feel something. He hopes it breaks them. He knows it probably will not. But he hopes. The trial reaches its 10th day. The courtroom is full. The accused are in their places. Kramer reads a book while waiting. Irma stares at the wall. The judges enter. Everyone stands. Everyone sits. The prosecutor rises. The Crown wishes to present film evidence, he says. The film was taken by British military photographers immediately after the liberation of Bergen-Belsen. It is an accurate and unaltered record of conditions inside the camp. We ask that it be shown to the court. The judges agree. The lights are dimmed. The screen glows white. The projector starts its clatter. And 45 accused see for the first time what the world has already seen, what they lived in, what they did, what they allowed. They see it not with their own eyes, but through the lens of a British camera. They see it as evidence. They see it as accusation. Kramer watches. His face does not change. He watches bodies being pushed into pits. He watches survivors too weak to stand. He watches children who are skeletons. He watches, and his face does not change. His hands rest on his notebook. He does not write. He does not move. Irma watches. For the first minute, she looks at the screen. Then she looks away. Then she looks back. Then she looks at her hands. Then she closes her eyes. Then she opens them. She cannot escape. The images are everywhere. The projector fills the room with light, and the light is filled with death. Other accused react. Some cover their faces. Some stare in disbelief. Some cry. One man, an SS officer, vomits onto the floor. The sound is loud in the quiet room. No one helps him. No one looks at him. Everyone looks at the screen. The film ends. The lights come up. The room is silent. The judges sit motionless. The journalists have stopped writing. The accused sit in their cage. Kramer's face is unchanged. Irma's tears are real now. She cannot stop them. She does not try. Stephen Stewart stands. He does not speak. He does not need to. The film has spoken. The celluloid witness has testified. And no cross-examination can undo what it has said. The trial will continue for weeks. More witnesses. More evidence. More arguments. But something has changed. The accused know it. The judges know it. The world will know it. The films have done what words could not. They have shown the truth. And the truth, once seen, cannot be unseen. In the dock, Josef Kramer picks up his pencil. He makes a note in his book. He does not write about the film. He writes about something else. Something small, something irrelevant. He writes because writing is what he does. It is how he controls himself. It is how he survives. Irma Grese sits with her hands in her lap. She does not move. She does not speak. She stares at the empty screen. She will stare at it for the rest of her life. In her dreams, in her cell, in the final moments. She will always see that screen. She will always see what it showed. The courtroom empties. The journalists rush to file their stories. The judges retire to their chambers. The accused are led back to their cells. The screen stands empty, white, silent, waiting for the next showing. There will be no next showing. This was the only one that mattered. In London, Margaret Turner does not know the film has been shown. She is at her desk, sorting more photographs. There are always more photographs. She works slowly, carefully. She numbers each one. She files each one. She does not know that her work has helped condemn the people in the pictures. She will learn. Eventually. She will read it in the newspapers. She will feel something. She does not know what. In the farmhouse darkroom, Benjamin Stone develops more film. There is always more film. The images appear in the red light. Bodies. Faces. Children. He watches them appear. He watches them float in the chemical bath. He fishes them out with tongs. He hangs them to dry. He does this all day. Every day. He does not know when it will end. He does not know if it will ever end. In Lüneburg, the sun sets. The courthouse grows dark. The screen is invisible now. But the images are not gone. They are in the minds of everyone who saw them. They are in the evidence room, stored carefully. They are in the cells of the accused, playing on repeat behind their eyes. The trial will continue. The judgment will come. But the film has already delivered its verdict. It has shown the truth. And the truth, in the end, is all that matters. The trial continues. Day after day, witness after witness, the courtroom in Lüneburg has become a theater of memory and accusation. But there is one performer who draws more attention than all the others. She sits in the dock with her blonde hair and her young face, and her eyes that shift between innocence and something else, something colder. Her name is Irma Grese, and the world cannot look away. The journalists have given her names: the beautiful beast, the blonde angel of death, the hyena of Belsen. They write about her constantly. They describe her clothes, her hair, her expressions. They cannot reconcile what they see with what they hear. A pretty girl, 21 years old, and the things the witnesses describe, the things she did, the things she supposedly did. The journalists fill their notebooks with questions they will never answer. The witnesses keep coming. They point at Irma. They describe her. A woman named Gisela Pearl takes the stand. She is a doctor, a Jewish doctor from Hungary. She was imprisoned in Auschwitz and then Belsen. She survived. She does not know how. She only knows that she did. She sits in the witness chair and looks at Irma for a long time. Irma looks back. Neither looks away. Dr. Pearl testifies. She describes the selections, the moments when prisoners were chosen for death. She describes how Irma stood at these selections with a smile, a beautiful smile, a terrifying smile. She described how Irma would point, left to death, right to life. Sometimes she would point, just to feel the power, just to watch people react. She describes the whip. Everyone describes the whip. Irma carried a whip made of cellophane, clear plastic. Flexible, painful. She used it constantly, on faces, on breasts, on anyone who came too close or looked too long or simply existed. She used it for pleasure. That is what the witnesses say. She enjoyed it. You could see it in her face. Dr. Pearl saw Irma use the whip on a pregnant woman. The woman was in labor, lying on the ground. Irma kicked her, stomped on her belly. The woman screamed. Irma laughed. The woman died. The baby died. Irma walked away. Dr. Pearl testifies to this. Her voice is steady. Her hands are still. She has told this story before. She will tell it again. She will tell it until someone believes her, or until she dies, whichever comes first. Irma listens. She shakes her head. Small movements, denial, disbelief. She whispers to the woman beside her. Lies. All lies. The woman nods. They have agreed on this. The witnesses are liars. The British are liars. Everyone is lying except them. Another witness takes the stand. A young woman. She was a prisoner at Belsen. She was 17 when she arrived. She is 19 now. She looks 40. Her name is Ilona Stein. She points at Irma. Her finger shakes. Her voice shakes. Everything about her shakes. Ilona describes a day in the camp, an ordinary day of death and suffering. She was walking to the latrine. This was forbidden without permission. She knew this, but she had dysentery. She could not wait. She walked. Irma saw her. Irma called her over. Ilona approached. She stood in front of Irma. She looked at the ground. She knew not to look up. Looking up was punished. Irma asked her name. Ilona told her. Irma asked her age. Ilona told her. Irma smiled. That smile, everyone remembers that smile. Then Irma took out her whip. She hit Ilona across the face. Once, twice, 3 times. Ilona did not move. She knew not to move. Moving made it worse. Irma hit her until her face was blood. Then Irma told her to go. Ilona went. She crawled to the latrine. She cleaned her face with dirty water. She went back to her hut. She survived. She does not know how. She only knows that she did. The courtroom is silent. Ilona cries. The judges look at Irma. Irma looks at her hands. Her hands are pretty, clean, soft. They have never held a whip. Not today. Not in this courtroom. In this courtroom, her hands are innocent. The prosecutor asks Ilona a question. He asks if she is sure. If she is absolutely sure that the woman she describes is Irma Grese. Ilona looks at Irma. She looks for a long time. Irma does not look up. Ilona says yes. She is sure. She will always be sure. She will see that face in her dreams until she dies. Irma's lawyer stands. He is a German lawyer appointed by the British. His name is Major Cranfield. He is British, actually. But he defends Irma. He does his job. He cross-examines Ilona. He asks if she might be mistaken, if the camp was confusing, if there were many blonde women in uniform, if memory is reliable. Ilona says no. She is not mistaken. She will never be mistaken. The cross-examination continues. Cranfield tries to find inconsistencies. Small things, dates, times, details. Ilona admits she does not remember the exact date. She does not remember the exact time. She remembers the face. She remembers the whip. She remembers the blood. That is enough. Cranfield sits down. He has done his job. He knows it is not enough. He knows nothing will be enough. The witnesses keep coming. The stories keep coming. Each one adds weight. Each one adds certainty. Another witness. A man this time. His name is Alexander Rosenberg. He was a prisoner at Belsen. He worked in the kitchen. He saw Irma every day. He describes how she would come to the kitchen and take food. Extra food. Good food. Food meant for prisoners. She would take it and eat it in front of them, while they starved, while they watched. She would smile and eat, and sometimes share with her dog. The dog ate better than the prisoners. The dog was healthier than the prisoners. The dog was loved. Rosenberg describes something else, something worse. He describes how Irma would bring her dog to the selections. She would set the dog on prisoners who moved too slow, who looked at her wrong, who simply existed. The dog was trained to attack, to bite, to tear. Rosenberg saw the dog kill a woman once, tear her throat out. Irma watched. She laughed. She called the dog a good girl. She gave the dog a treat. The courtroom absorbs this. The journalists write it down. The judges make notes. Irma stares straight ahead. Her face is pale. She does not look at Rosenberg. She looks at the wall behind him. She looks at nothing. Day after day. Witness after witness. The pattern is always the same. A survivor takes the stand, points at Irma, describes an atrocity. Irma denies it silently. Her lawyer questions it weakly. The next witness takes the stand. The weight grows. But there is one witness who changes everything. Her name is Renate Schmidt. She was a prisoner at Belsen. She worked in the camp office. She had access to records, to documents, to things other prisoners did not see. She testifies about Irma's role, her official role, her documented role. Schmidt describes how Irma was in charge of work details, how she selected prisoners for labor, how she reported to Kramer, how she was present at selections, how she had authority, real authority, not just a guard with a whip, a supervisor with power. The documents prove this. The records prove this. Irma was not just following orders. She was giving them. The prosecutor introduces the documents. They are passed to the judges. They are read into the record. They show Irma's name, her signature, her assignments. They show that she was not a minor figure. She was central. She was responsible. Irma watches the documents being handled. She watches the judges read them. She knows what they say. She signed them herself. She did not think they would matter. She did not think anyone would ever read them in a courtroom. She was wrong. Her face changes, just slightly. The practiced innocence slips. Something else appears. Fear. Anger. It is hard to tell. It is there for a moment, and then it is gone. She is composed again. She is innocent again. She is the wronged girl again. But the judges saw it. The prosecutor saw it. The journalists saw it. The mask slipped. In the dock, Joseph Kramer watches Irma. He has been watching her throughout the trial. He does not speak to her. They are not friends. They are not allies. They are just two people in the same cage. But he watches her. He is interested in her performance. He is interested in her mask. He has a mask too. His is better. His never slips. He wonders if hers will hold. He does not care either way. He is only curious. The trial moves toward its end. The witnesses are almost done. The evidence is almost complete. But there is one more thing. One more piece of evidence that the prosecutor has saved. One more blow. He calls Irma's own photographs. The photographs she took of herself, in her uniform, posing, smiling, beautiful. The photographs she sent to friends, to family, to lovers. The photographs she kept in her belongings. The photographs the British found when they captured her. They are passed around the courtroom. The judges look at them. The journalists look at them. The spectators look at them. They see a pretty girl in a crisp uniform, posing for the camera. Happy, proud. They see the same face that sits in the dock. But in the photographs, the face is not pretending. In the photographs, the face is real. The prosecutor holds one up. He shows it to the court. He shows it to Irma. "This is you," he says. "This is you in your uniform. This is you smiling. This is you proud of what you were. This is you before you were caught. This is the real you." Irma looks at the photograph. It is her. It is really her. She remembers that day. The photographer, the uniform, the feeling of being important, of being someone. She remembers the smile. It was real. It was all real. She looks at the photograph, and for a moment she is there again. In that moment. In that uniform. In that life. Then she is back. In the courtroom. In the dock. In front of the world. She looks at her hands. She does not look at the photograph again. She cannot. The prosecutor places the photograph on the evidence table. It joins the other evidence, the documents, the witness statements, the films, the photographs of bodies. And now the photographs of Irma, happy, proud, real. The contrast is devastating. The pretty girl in the photograph and the horror she helped create. Side by side, forever. The trial is almost over. The witnesses are done. The evidence is complete. The judges will deliberate. They will decide guilt or innocence. They will decide life or death. But everyone in the courtroom already knows. They have known since the films were shown. They have known since the witnesses testified. They have known since they saw Irma's photographs. They know what the verdict will be. In her cell that night, Irma lies on her bunk. She stares at the ceiling. She thinks about the photographs. She thinks about the witnesses. She thinks about the faces of the judges when they looked at her. She tries to feel something. Regret, remorse, fear. She feels nothing. She has always felt nothing. That is the problem. That is what the witnesses described. That is what the photographs showed. That is what the judges saw. A beautiful girl who felt nothing. A beautiful girl who could watch death and smile. A beautiful girl who was, in the end, a monster. She closes her eyes. She sleeps. She dreams of nothing. She never remembers her dreams. She is glad. In London, Margaret Turner reads the newspaper accounts of the trial. She reads about Irma Grese. She reads about the whip, the smile, the photographs. She looks at the photographs printed in the paper. The pretty girl in uniform. She thinks about the photographs on her desk. The bodies, the faces, the children. She thinks about the connection between them. The pretty girl and the dead children. The smile and the bodies. She thinks about this for a long time. She does not understand. She will never understand. In the farmhouse darkroom, Benjamin Stone develops more film. There is always more film. He watches images appear in the red light. Bodies, faces, children. He fishes them out with tongs. He hangs them to dry. He thinks about Irma Grese. He has seen her photographs. The pretty ones. The ones she took of herself. He thinks about the contrast. Her face and the faces he develops. Her life and the deaths he documents. He thinks about this as he works. He will think about it forever. The trial in Lüneburg is almost over. The verdict is coming. The world is waiting. and Irma Grese sits in her cell and stares at the wall and feels nothing. She will feel nothing until the end. That is her gift. That is her curse. That is what made her possible. That is what will hang her. The courtroom focuses now on the man in the front row. Josef Kramer, the commandant, the doctor, the man who ran Bergen-Belsen, and before that, Auschwitz. He has sat through weeks of testimony without visible emotion. He has taken notes. He has whispered to his lawyer. He has watched the witnesses point at him and describe horrors. His face has not changed. Not once. But now it is his turn. Now he will speak. Now he will explain himself to the court and to the world. He has prepared for this. He has rehearsed. He has written statements. He knows exactly what he will say. He has believed it for so long that it has become truth. His truth. The only truth that matters to him. He stands when his lawyer calls him. He walks to the witness stand. He is calm, dignified. He looks like a man who has nothing to hide. He sits. He adjusts his jacket. He looks at the judges with steady eyes. He is ready. The examination begins. His lawyer asks questions. Soft questions. Friendly questions. Kramer answers in English. His English is good. He learned it years ago. He uses it now to show the court that he is educated. Civilized. Not a monster. Monsters do not speak English. Monsters do not read Goethe. Monsters do not have degrees in medicine. He tells his story. He was born in 1906, in Munich. He studied medicine. He became a doctor. He joined the Nazi Party in 1931. Not because he believed in the ideology. Because he needed a job. Because Germany was struggling. Because a man must work. He joined the SS for the same reason. It was employment. It was a salary. It was a uniform. It meant nothing more. He describes his career. He worked in various camps, Dachau, Sachsenhausen, Mauthausen, Auschwitz, then Bergen-Belsen. He describes each posting as a job, an assignment. He did what he was told. He followed orders. That is what soldiers do. That is what everyone does. When he reaches Auschwitz, his voice changes slightly. Just slightly. He admits he was in charge of the gas chambers there. He admits he supervised selections. He admits he sent thousands to die. But he explains. He always explains. He was following orders. He had no choice. If he refused, he would have been killed. Sent to the camps himself. His family would have suffered. What could he do? What would anyone do? The prosecutor listens. The judges listen. The journalists write. Kramer continues. He describes Bergen-Belsen. He arrived in December 1944. The camp was already in chaos. Overcrowded. No food. Disease everywhere. He inherited this. He did not create it. He tried to improve it. He requested supplies. He requested medicine. Nothing came. The war was ending. The supply lines were broken. There was nothing he could do. He admits people died. Thousands died. Tens of thousands. But he blames the war, the typhus, the starvation, the collapse of Germany. He does not blame himself. He was a doctor. He tried to help. He gave what medicine he had. He did what he could. It was not enough. Nothing could have been enough. His lawyer asks about specific accusations, the beatings, the killings, the cruelty. Kramer shakes his head. He never beat anyone. He never killed anyone. He never ordered anyone to be killed. He was a commandant. He ran the camp. He did not dirty his hands with the details. That was the work of others. Guards. Kapos. The SS. He was above that. He was an administrator, a doctor, a professional. The prosecutor stands for cross-examination. Stephen Stewart has waited for this moment. He has watched Kramer for weeks. He has studied his face, his manner, his calm. He has prepared for this. He walks to the witness stand. He looks at Kramer. Kramer looks back. The room is silent. Stewart begins. He asks about Auschwitz, about the gas chambers, about the selections. Kramer answers calmly. Yes, he was there. Yes, he supervised. Yes, people died. He was following orders. Stewart asks if he ever refused an order. Kramer says no. Stewart asks why. Kramer says refusal was impossible. Stewart asks if he ever asked to be transferred. Kramer says no. Stewart asks why. Kramer says he did not think of it. Stewart asks if he ever considered the morality of what he was doing. Kramer pauses. He considers the question. He says he was a soldier. Soldiers do not consider morality. Soldiers follow orders. Stewart changes direction. He asks about Bergen-Belsen, about the conditions, about the dying. Kramer repeats his story. He inherited chaos. He tried to help. Nothing worked. Stewart asks about specific orders. Did Kramer order food withheld? No. Did Kramer order medicine withheld? No. Did Kramer order the beatings? No. Everything was someone else's fault. Everyone else is guilty. Kramer is innocent. Stewart brings out documents. Orders signed by Kramer. Requisitions signed by Kramer. Reports signed by Kramer. He shows them to the court. He reads them aloud. They show Kramer requesting more prisoners, more workers, more bodies to exploit. They show Kramer complaining about supply shortages, not because people were starving, because work was slowing down. They show Kramer's priorities: work, production, efficiency, not human life, never human life. Kramer listens to his own words being read. His face does not change. He explains each document, each order, each request. He was following orders. He was doing his job. The documents prove nothing except that he was a good administrator, a good soldier, a good German. Stewart brings out photographs, not the camp photographs, other photographs, Kramer's photographs, personal photographs. They show Kramer at parties, Kramer with colleagues, Kramer smiling, Kramer relaxed. Kramer living a normal life while thousands died around him. Stewart holds one up. It shows Kramer at a Christmas party. Auschwitz, 1943. He is laughing, holding a drink, surrounded by other SS officers. In the background, barely visible, is a chimney. Smoking, the crematorium, working, even on Christmas. Stewart asks about the photograph. Kramer looks at it. He remembers that party. It was nice. Good food. Good company. A break from the work. He does not say this. He says nothing. He waits for the next question. Stewart asks if he ever thought about the people in the camp while he was at that party. Kramer says no. He was off duty. He was relaxing. The camp was work. The party was not work. He separated them. That is what professionals do. Stewart asks if he ever thought about the children, the thousands of children who died. Kramer says he did not think about them. They were not his responsibility. They were the responsibility of the guards, the capos, the system. He just ran the camp. He just followed orders. He just did his job. The cross-examination continues for hours. Stewart tries to break him, to find a crack, a moment of honesty, an admission of guilt. Kramer gives nothing. He is a wall, smooth, unclimbable. He has built this wall for years. He has practiced. He has prepared. He will not break today. But Stewart has one more thing, one more piece of evidence. He saved it for the end. He approaches the witness stand. He holds up a film reel. Not the camp film. Something else. Something Kramer has not seen. He asks the court for permission to show a short clip. The judges agree. The lights dim. The projector starts. The clip shows Kramer. Not now. Then, in the camp. April 1945, right after liberation. He is standing outside his quarters. The British have just arrived. He is talking to an officer. He is calm, composed. He is explaining something, gesturing. The camera zooms in. His face is clear. He looks exactly as he looks now. Same calm, same composure, same absence of guilt. But the clip continues. The camera follows him. He walks through the camp, past bodies, past survivors, past the evidence of his work. He does not look at them. He walks like they are not there, like they are invisible, like they do not matter. The clip ends. The lights come up. Stewart turns to Kramer. He asks one question. Just one. You walked past the bodies, he says. You walked past the dying. You did not look. You did not stop. You did not help. Why? Kramer is silent. For the first time, he does not have an answer. He opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again. Nothing comes out. The wall has a crack. Small, tiny, but it is there. He finally speaks. He says he was busy. He was talking to the officer. He had other things to think about. The bodies were not his concern. They were already dead. He could not help them. Why look? Why stop? What would be the point? The words hang in the air. The courtroom absorbs them. The journalists write them down. The judges make notes. Kramer has explained himself. He has explained everything. He did not look because looking would not help. He did not stop because stopping would not save anyone. He walked past the dead because they were dead and he was busy. That is his defense. That is who he is. Stewart sits down. He has done his work. He has shown the court who Joseph Kramer really is. Not a monster with horns, not a screaming fanatic. Something worse. A man who could walk past thousands of dead bodies and not look. A man who could supervise gas chambers and still sleep at night. A man who could smile at Christmas parties while chimneys smoked behind him. A man who felt nothing. A man who was, in every way that matters, already dead himself. Kramer returns to the dock. He sits beside Irma. She looks at him. He does not look back. He takes out his notebook. He writes something. Small, neat. He is composed again. The crack is sealed. He is ready for whatever comes next. The trial moves toward its end. The witnesses are done. The evidence is complete. The accused have spoken. Now the judges will decide. They will weigh the testimony, the documents, the photographs, the films. They will decide who lives and who dies. In his cell that night, Kramer reads. He has a new book. Something by Schopenhauer. Philosophy. He reads about suffering, about meaning, about the human condition. He underlines passages. He makes notes. He does not connect the philosophy to his own life. He does not see himself in the pages. He is just reading, passing time, waiting. In London, the film editors watch the footage again. They watch Kramer walking past bodies. They watch his face, his calm, his indifference. They watch and they do not understand. They will never understand. They cut the footage into the final version. They label it. They file it. It joins the other evidence. It waits for history. In Lüneburg, the town sleeps. The courthouse is dark. The cells are quiet. Kramer turns a page. Irma stares at the ceiling. The others lie in their bunks and think about tomorrow. The verdict is coming. They all know it. They all feel it. They all wait. The doctor has spoken. The doctor has defended himself. The doctor has explained everything. And in explaining, he has condemned himself, not because he admitted guilt, because he showed the truth that he felt nothing. The truth that he never looked. The truth that he walked past death and did not stop. That truth will hang him. That truth will follow him into the grave. That truth is all that matters now. November 17th, 1945. The courthouse in Lüneburg is full. Every seat taken. Journalists from a dozen countries. Military observers, German civilians, survivors who have traveled miles to be here. They fill the benches. They line the walls. They stand in the back. No one wants to miss this. No one wants to be anywhere else. The morning light comes through the tall windows, pale, cold. Winter is coming. The accused sit in their dock. 45 of them. Men and women who ran a camp where thousands died. They have waited weeks for this moment. Now it is here. Some look nervous. Some look resigned. Some look at the floor. Some look at the judges. Joseph Kramer sits in the front row. He wears the same dark suit he has worn throughout the trial. His hair is combed. His face is calm. He holds a book in his hands. Not reading, just holding. Something to do with his fingers. Something to anchor himself. Irma Grese sits beside him. She wears a gray dress. Her blonde hair is pulled back. Her face is pale. She has stopped crying. She has stopped performing. There is nothing left to perform. The judges will decide. She cannot change that now. She sits and waits and tries not to think. The judges enter. Everyone stands. Everyone sits. The president of the court, Colonel Backhouse, holds a sheaf of papers. The verdicts. 45 of them. He begins to read. The first name, Joseph Kramer. The courtroom holds its breath. Backhouse reads the charges, one by one, and after each charge, the verdict. Guilty, guilty, guilty. The words fall like stones. Kramer listens. His face does not change. He has expected this. He has prepared for this. Guilty means nothing. Guilty is just a word. The sentence is what matters. Backhouse continues. He reads the names of the others. One by one, guilty, guilty, not guilty, guilty. The pattern varies. Some are acquitted. Lack of evidence. Minor roles. The judges have decided. But the major figures, the leaders, the ones with blood on their hands, they are all guilty. Irma's name is called. She straightens. She looks at the judges. Backhouse reads the charges. Brutal treatment of prisoners. Participation in selections. Responsibility for deaths. Verdict. Guilty. 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 Irma hears the words. She does not react. She has known since the witnesses testified, since the photographs were shown, since the films played. She has known. The verdicts take an hour to read. 45 names, 45 fates. When it is done, Backhouse pauses. He looks at the room. He looks at the accused. He looks at the journalists. He looks at the survivors. Then he speaks again. The sentences will be read tomorrow. The court is adjourned. The accused are led away. Kramer walks calmly. Irma walks slowly. The others follow. The courtroom empties. The journalists rush to file their stories. The survivors sit in their seats, unable to move. It is over. Almost over. That night, the cells are quiet. No one speaks. No one sleeps. Everyone thinks about tomorrow, about what comes next, about life and death. Kramer lies on his bunk. He does not read tonight. He stares at the ceiling. He thinks about his life, about the choices that brought him here. He does not regret them. He cannot regret them. Regret would mean accepting guilt. He does not accept guilt. He followed orders. He did his job, that is all. If the British hang him for that, they hang him. He cannot change it. He will not beg. Irma lies on her bunk. She stares at the wall. She thinks about the witnesses, their faces, their words, their accusations. She thinks about the photographs, the ones she took of herself, the ones the prosecutor showed. She thinks about the girl in those photographs. That girl is dead now, killed by the trial, killed by the verdict, killed by the truth. She does not know who she is anymore. She does not know anything. November 18th, 1945. The courtroom fills again, the same faces, the same tension, the same cold light through the windows. The accused are brought in. They sit in their dock. They wait. Backhouse reads the sentences. He starts with Kramer. The room is silent. The name, the charges, and then the words. Sentence of death. To be hanged by the neck until dead. Kramer hears the words. His face does not change. He has expected this. He has prepared for this. He nods slightly, almost imperceptibly, a small acknowledgement. Then he sits still, waiting for the rest. More names, more sentences. Death, death, life imprisonment, death. The words continue. 11 death sentences in total. 11 people who will hang. The others will serve prison time, years, decades. Some will walk free eventually. But not these 11, not today. Irma's name is called. She stands. She looks at the judges. Backhouse reads her name. He reads the charges. He reads the verdict. Then he reads the sentence. Death by hanging. Irma hears the words. Her face crumples, just for a moment, a crack in the mask. Then it is gone. She sits down. She stares straight ahead. She does not look at anyone. She does not look at anything. She stares at nothing. The sentences are finished. The court is adjourned. The accused are led away. Kramer walks calmly. Irma walks like a ghost. The others follow. The door closes behind them. In the cells, the condemned wait. They have 2 weeks. 2 weeks until execution. 2 weeks to think. 2 weeks to remember. 2 weeks to feel whatever they can feel. Kramer uses the time to read. He finishes Schopenhauer. He starts another book. Something about history. He reads and makes notes and waits. He does not write letters. He has no one to write to. His family is gone. His life is over. He reads and waits. Irma does not read. She lies on her bunk. She stares at the ceiling. She thinks about death, about what it will feel like, about the moment when the rope tightens, about the darkness. She has seen death, thousands of deaths. She never thought about her own. Now she thinks about nothing else. She writes letters to her father, to her sister. She tells them she is innocent. She tells them she did nothing wrong. She tells them she loves them. She tells them goodbye. The letters are collected. They will be delivered after. After she is gone, the days pass. The world outside moves on. Other trials, other news, other horrors. But in Lüneburg, time stops. The condemned wait. The guards watch. The town goes about its business. December 13th, 1945, the night before execution. Kramer sits in his cell. He has stopped reading. He sits on his bunk and looks at the wall. He thinks about his life, about the camps, about the people, about the choices. He still feels nothing. That is the strange thing. He has spent his whole life feeling nothing. He will die feeling nothing. It is fitting. Irma lies on her bunk. She cannot sleep. She stares at the ceiling. She thinks about the witnesses, about their faces, about their words. She thinks about the children, the ones she sent to die, the ones she beat, the ones she watched suffer. She tries to feel something, regret, remorse, anything. She feels nothing. That is the horror. That is what they saw in her. That is why they condemned her. Not because of what she did. Because of what she was. empty, hollow, dead inside. She cries then, not for the victims, for herself, for the girl she was, for the life she will not have. She cries until there are no tears left. Then she lies still and waits for morning. December 14th, 1945. The execution day. The prisoners are woken early. They are given breakfast. Kramer eats. Irma does not. They are taken to the execution shed. It is a small building in the prison yard. Simple. Functional. A wooden beam. 13 ropes. 13 nooses. 11 will be used today. Kramer walks first. He is calm, dignified. He climbs the steps. He stands on the trapdoor. The hangman places the noose around his neck. Kramer looks at the witnesses. British officers, a doctor, a few officials. He does not speak. He has nothing to say. The trapdoor opens. He falls. He dies. It takes minutes. His neck does not break. He strangles. That is the way of it. Slow, painful. He does not cry out. He does not make a sound. The others follow, one by one. Men who ran a camp where thousands died. They hang and die and are forgotten. Irma is last. She walks to the scaffold. Her face is pale. Her eyes are empty. She is 22 years old. She climbs the steps. She stands on the trapdoor. The hangman places the noose around her neck. She looks at the witnesses. She looks at the doctor. She looks at the sky through a small window. It is gray, cold, ordinary. Someone asks if she has any last words. She shakes her head. No words. Nothing to say. The trapdoor opens. She falls. She dies. It takes longer than the others. Her body is light, young. The rope does not break her neck. She strangles slowly. The doctor watches. He counts the minutes. When it is over, he pronounces her dead. Irma Grese is gone. The bodies are taken down. They are placed in coffins. They are photographed. Documentation, evidence. Even in death, the cameras watch. The photographs are filed. They join the others, the bodies of the victims, the bodies of the killers, all filed, all numbered, all preserved for history. In London, Margaret Turner reads the news. 11 hanged. Kramer, Irma, the others. She reads their names. She has seen their faces, in photographs, in films. She has seen what they did. Now they are dead. She does not know what to feel. Relief? Justice? Emptiness? She feels nothing. The numbness has taken her too. She goes back to work. More photographs. More files. More death. It never ends. In the farmhouse darkroom, Benjamin Stone develops the last films, the execution photographs, the bodies of the hanged. He watches them appear in the red light. Kramer's face. Irma's face. Dead. Still. He fishes them out with tongs. He hangs them to dry. He thinks about the cycle, the killers who became victims, the judges who became executioners, the cameras that recorded everything. He thinks and works and does not stop. He cannot stop. There is always more. In Lüneburg, the prison yard is empty. The scaffold is dismantled. The ropes are burned. The bodies are buried. Unmarked graves. No ceremony, no mourners. The condemned are gone. But the films remain. The photographs remain. The testimony remains. The evidence is stored. It waits. For historians, for students, for the future. It waits to be seen again, to be shown again, to remind the world what happened, what humans did to humans, what justice looked like, what death looked like. The trial is over, the verdict is delivered, the sentence is carried out. But the story does not end. It cannot end. Because the cameras kept rolling. Because the evidence was preserved. Because the truth once captured does not die. It waits. It watches. It reminds. And somewhere, in an archive, in a vault, In a box labeled Belsen, the films sit, silent, patient, waiting for the next pair of eyes, waiting to testify again, waiting to tell the world what happened in a clearing in the German woods, where the dead outnumbered the living and the smell of death hung in the air like a permanent stain. The celluloid witness never sleeps. It never forgets. It never forgives. It only shows. And showing is enough. The war ends. The trials end. The hangings end. But the films do not end. They are packed in metal canisters, labeled, dated, shipped to London, stored in vaults. They wait. Years pass. The world rebuilds. Germany becomes two countries. The Cold War begins. The camps become history. Words in textbooks. Photographs in museums. Memories in the minds of survivors who grow old and die one by one. But the films wait. In 1946, a young historian named Alfred Zeitlin visits the Imperial War Museum. He is the same Alfred Zeitlin who edited the Belsen footage in that dark room. The same Alfred Zeitlin who watched SS guards smile while loading bodies. He has survived the war. He has survived the work. He has survived the memories. He comes to the museum to see the films again. He does not know why. He needs to see them. He needs to know they are still there, still real, still evidence. The archivist brings him to a small viewing room, the same kind of room where the prosecutors first watched the footage. Gray walls, wooden chairs, white screen. Zeitlin sits. The projector starts. The images appear. Bodies, faces, children, the same images he edited years ago. He watches them again. He does not look away. He cannot look away. He has been looking at these images his whole life. He will look at them until he dies. When the film ends, he sits in silence. The archivist asks if he is okay. He nods. He is not okay. But he nods. He leaves. He goes home. He dreams of bodies. He always dreams of bodies. He will dream of bodies forever. In 1965, a documentary filmmaker from Germany requests access to the films. He is making a film about the camps. He wants to show the truth. The British archives grant permission. He travels to London. He watches the footage. He cries. He has seen photographs. He has read accounts. But the moving images are different. The living dying. The faces moving. The eyes blinking. It is not history. It is presence. It is now. It is forever. He uses the footage in his documentary. The film is shown in Germany. Young Germans watch it. They did not know. They could not have known. Their parents did not tell them. Their teachers did not teach them. But now they see. The images enter their minds. They will never leave. That is the power of film. That is the curse of film. In 1985, a survivor named Ilona Stein returns to Bergen-Belsen for the first time since liberation. She is old now. Her hair is gray. Her face is lined. She walks through the memorial, the graves, the monuments, the museum. She stops in front of a screen. A film is playing, the liberation footage. She sees herself, for a moment. A flash. A girl walking past the camera. That girl was her. 40 years ago. Starving. Dying. Waiting for death. She watches herself and cannot breathe. She stands and watches and remembers everything. Her daughter is with her. Her daughter never knew. Ilona never spoke of it. Now the daughter sees. Now the daughter understands. They stand together and watch the film. They do not speak. There are no words. The film speaks for them. In 1995, the 50th anniversary of liberation, survivors gather at Bergen-Belsen. Old now, frail, walking with canes, sitting in wheelchairs. They come from around the world. to remember, to mourn, to be together one last time. The German government has built a new museum. The British have provided copies of the films. They are shown continuously. The survivors watch them. They point at faces. They remember names, they cry, they hold each other, the films play on. A television crew is there. They film the survivors watching the films. It is film of film. Images within images. The layers of memory. The layers of history. The crew interviews a survivor. He is 90 years old. He was 20 when the camp was liberated. He points at the screen. "That is me," he says. "That is me walking. That is me alive. That is me when I was young and everything was death." He stops. He looks at the camera. He looks at the interviewer. He speaks again. "The film saved me," he says. "Not my life, my story. Without the film, no one would believe. Without the film, they would say it did not happen. They would say we lied. They would say we invented. But the film does not lie. The film is truth. The film is my witness." The interviewer nods. She has heard this before. From survivors. From historians. From anyone who understands what the footage means. The film is not just record. It is proof. It is testimony. It is voice for the voiceless. In 2005, the Imperial War Museum in London mounts a major exhibition about the Holocaust. The Belsen films are central. They are shown in a darkened room. Benches for visitors. Headphones for audio. The films run continuously. Visitors come. They sit. They watch. Some cry. Some leave quickly. Some stay for hours. They cannot look away. They cannot forget. A school group visits. Teenagers. 15 years old. They sit on the benches. They watch the films. They have seen photographs in textbooks. They have read about the Holocaust. But this is different. This is moving. This is real. A girl starts to cry. A boy puts his arm around her. They do not speak. They watch. The films play on. Afterward, their teacher asks what they think. They struggle to answer. There are no words. One boy speaks. He says he always knew it was bad, but he did not know it was like this. He did not know it was people. Real people. Like us. The teacher nods. That is the point, she says. They were like us. That is why it matters. In 2015, the last survivors are dying. The generation that witnessed is passing. Soon there will be no one left who was there, no one who saw with their own eyes, no one who smelled the smell, no one who felt the fear. The films become more important. They become the only witnesses left. A historian named Rachel Stein works at the Imperial War Museum. She is Ilona Stein's granddaughter. Ilona died in 2010. Rachel grew up hearing her grandmother's stories. She saw the films as a child. She knew what happened. She dedicated her life to preserving the evidence, to making sure the films survive. She works in the archive, temperature-controlled, humidity-controlled. The films are stored carefully. They are fragile. They degrade. They must be preserved. Digitized, saved for future generations. Rachel oversees this work. She watches as each frame is scanned, converted to digital files. The images appear on her screen. The same images her grandmother saw. The same images that changed the world. She thinks about the future, about a time when no survivors remain, when the films are the only testimony. She thinks about people who will watch them 100 years from now, 200 years. Will they believe? Will they understand? Will they feel what she feels? She does not know. She hopes. She works. In 2020, a young filmmaker from America comes to the archive. She is making a documentary about the trials. She wants to see the original footage, the unedited reels, the complete record. Rachel brings her to the viewing room, the same room where Alfred Zeitlin sat 74 years earlier, the same room where prosecutors first saw the evidence. The filmmaker watches. She takes notes. She cries. She watches again. She cannot stop watching. The images pull her in. The faces, the eyes, the children. She has studied the Holocaust her whole life. She has read every book, seen every film. But this is different. This is raw, this is unfiltered, this is the thing itself. Afterward, she talks to Rachel. She asks how Rachel does this work, how she watches these images every day, how she survives. Rachel thinks for a moment. She speaks slowly. I do it for my grandmother, she says. I do it for the people in the films. They cannot speak anymore, but the films speak for them. Someone has to listen. Someone has to make sure the world keeps listening. The filmmaker nods. She understands. She will make her film. She will show the footage. She will tell the story. The cycle continues. The witness testifies. Today, the films are still there, in the archive, in the vault, in the digital files. They can be accessed by anyone, scholars, students, filmmakers, ordinary people. They are free. They are available. They are waiting. The trial in Lüneburg is over. The accused are dead. The survivors are dying. The cameras that recorded it all are museum pieces now. But the images live. They move, they speak, they show. A young woman sits in a library in Tokyo. She is studying history. She has never been to Germany. She has never met a survivor. She watches the Belsen footage on her laptop, the bodies, the faces, the children. She watches, and she understands. She understands what humans did. She understands what humans can become. She carries that understanding with her. She will carry it forever. A schoolboy in Brazil watches the same footage. His teacher has shown it in class. He goes home and thinks about it. He cannot sleep. He sees the faces. He tells his parents. They do not want to talk about it. It is too heavy, too dark, too far away. But the boy does not forget. He will not forget. The images are in him now. An old man in Israel watches the footage. He is a survivor. He was in Belsen. He was a child then. He sees himself in the film, not his face. He does not see his face. But he sees his life, his past, his pain. He watches and remembers and cries. The film is his mirror, his memory, his witness. The celluloid witness never stops testifying. It has no voice. It needs no voice. The images speak. The faces speak. The bodies speak. They say, this happened. This was real. These were people. Remember us. And the world watches. And the world remembers. And the world tries to understand. It never fully understands. How could it? But it tries. That is something. That is enough. In the archive, Rachel Stein closes for the night. She locks the vaults. She checks the temperature. She says goodnight to the films. She has done this for 20 years. She will do it until she retires. Then someone else will do it. The work continues. The witness remains. Outside, the city of London moves on. People go to pubs, watch football, fall in love, argue about politics, live their lives. They do not think about Belsen. They cannot think about it all the time. No one can. But the films are there, waiting, ready. When the world needs to remember, the films will show. The trial shocked Britain. It shocked the world. But the trial ended. The shock faded. What remains is the evidence, the photographs, the testimony, the films. They are the last witnesses, the only witnesses that will never die. Joseph Kramer is dead. Irma Grese is dead. The judges are dead. The prosecutors are dead. The journalists who wrote the stories are dead. But the films live. They play on. They show the truth to each new generation. That is the last secret of Bergen-Belsen. Not a secret at all, just the truth. Preserved on celluloid, waiting in the dark, ready to testify, forever. The screen goes white. The projector stops. The film ends. But it does not end. It rewinds. It starts again. Another viewer. Another generation. Another pair of eyes. The witness never rests. The truth never sleeps. In a small room in the Imperial War Museum, the films sit in their canisters. Silent. Patient. Waiting. Outside, the world turns. Wars come and go. People are born and die. History is written and rewritten. But the films wait. They have all the time in the world. And when the world needs to remember, the films will be there. Ready to show. Ready to testify. Ready to speak for the dead who cannot speak for themselves. That is their purpose. That is their power. That is their gift. The celluloid witness never lies. It never forgets. It never stops. It is still watching.